Jamaica is a place of promise. Much of the country's potential lies in the next generation who are being groomed to propel this nation to even greater heights. In recent weeks, unfortunate circumstances have snatched away the potential represented by a few of our children. On today's show, we rise to protect our children. We ask you to join us as we aim to provide a secure environment for our future leaders to fulfill their ambitions. Let's heed the words of our foreparents, who taught us that it takes a village to raise a child. If you strongly suspect that a child is being abused, reach out to the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, formerly the Child Development Agency and Office of the Children's Registry. There's an office in each parish. There are also small gestures that can create big reactions, such as being a child's friend, providing a listening ear to their stories of peer pressure, or assisting with their schoolwork. Hi, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is Jamaica Magazine. Stay with us as we provide insights on how to care for our children on the road and at home.
Stop! Think before you burn. Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, January 30. Jamaica has signed a $582,000 grant with the United Nations Green Climate Fund. This to assist the private sector develop and implement strategies to respond to climate change. The Readiness Grant, which was signed on Monday, follows October's signing of a $300,000 grant to help the government formulate climate change resilient plans. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Daryl Vaz, used the signing to appeal to the private sector and all non-governmental organizations to make use of the funds.
You have our total support, and we'd like to be involved from the concept stage to the implementation to ensure that we get it right the first time and that businesses and indeed the country benefit from the resources of the Green Climate Fund and any other financing options regarding climate change.
The Planning Institute of Jamaica, Development Bank and Jamaica Social Investment Fund have been nominated as national implementation agencies. The capacity building process will provide knowledge and expertise to businesses to access money from the fund individually through grant funding or concessionary loans.
Subsequent to approval, they will be instrumental in the development of funding proposals and the management and monitoring of projects and programs.
Government is expected to spend $81 million to repair farm roads in Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Roads to be repaired in Manchester are Brandon Hill, Chudley Path, St. Tully's, Reckford and Alvey, while Delightful, Thatch Walk, Fantyland, Spring Park and Hodges in St. Elizabeth will be rehabilitated. Work is expected to be completed in March this year. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, J.C. Hutchinson, made the announcement on Wednesday during a tour of the parishes. He said fixing the roads would reduce transportation and production costs to farmers. The work will continue in the next financial year to fix farm roads not repaired under this rehabilitation project. The country is closer to having an updated law for governing building approvals and processes, as well as regulation of the industry. The building bill was passed in the Senate on Friday with 30 amendments. Among the provisions of the bill are the establishment of the National Building Code and the appointment of the Bureau of Standards Jamaica as the agency to set acceptable local and international standards for construction.
That the National Building Code is now designated under this Act, and then it speaks to, in 14.5, the different international codes that have been modified and designated by the Bureau of Standards. So they have already been reviewed in consultation with all the stakeholders and accepted as the building standards.
In addition, the legislation establishes municipal corporations as the local building authorities. They are responsible for inspecting, certifying and taking the actions necessary to approve new structures. They also have the authority to change existing buildings or destroy dangerous structures. The building bill also seeks to streamline the permit application system. to eliminate unnecessary referrals and expedite responses, and to ensure the rights of persons with disabilities regarding accessibility, safety, and user-friendliness. The bill was passed with 24 amendments in the House of Representatives in November last year. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, will be engaging clients and stakeholders on various trading activities through a special traders forum. The event is to take place in a few months. It's intended to bring together stakeholders involved in export, import, logistics, warehousing, and haulage, among other trading areas. The JCA says it will use the forum to educate, sensitize, and heighten the awareness of various processes and procedures involved along the supply chain. The strategic initiative was launched on Friday by Finance Minister Audley Shaw, who says it opens up a new avenue for effective communication.
You are now charting a formal course to communicating better with your importers and all of your stakeholders. Yes, I commend you on that because we need it.
The trade forum is designed to facilitate improved medium and long-term efficiency within Jamaica's trade environment through effective service delivery by the JCA. Top cruise operators have expressed confidence in destination Jamaica despite the ongoing state of public emergency in St. James. This is one of the positive outcomes of a meeting on Friday between Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett and cruise officials in Florida. Mr. Bartlett says the cruise operators are keen on deepening their relationship with the island. The minister's trip to Florida forms part of a new initiative to assure key stakeholders from important markets such as the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada that Jamaica is still a vibrant vacation choice. He expressed confidence in the cruise industry, saying there will be great improvements this year based on the positive feedback received from cruise industry leadership and potential investors. And finally, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is engaging parents and stakeholders in activities to promote reading at the early childhood level. Read Across Jamaica and Read Pandikana are two of the initiatives being promoted across the country. The activities are being carried out by the Early Childhood Commission.
This is the kind of initiative that we really want because, we've been pushing the importance of the first 1,000 days of a child's life. That is the key. That's where executive function is being developed.
Under the two reading initiatives, parents and stakeholders participate in reading and other parenting activities. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
They were heading home, playing in the streets just like they always did. When
I'll see you again.
My name is Sheldon Bell. I barely survived. My friend, she didn't. I'm now much more careful on the road. You should be too.
330 Jamaicans died in road crashes in 2014. 99 of the deceased were pedestrians. Road users, obey road rules. Walk, drive, and ride with care. Remember, road safety begins with you.
Statistics from the Road Safety Unit revealed that the main cause of crashes last year were excessive speeding, disobeying traffic signs or signals, swerving, failure to keep left, and following too closely, or what we call tailgating. These contributed to instances in which children were killed. At least 10 children died in road crashes last year. Next, a reminder of how to look out for the little ones on the road.
Life in any form is a gift too precious to measure. The birth of brand new possibilities and exciting potential for whatever. For those at the early stages of this journey, it is expected that the ones who are older, those in positions of guardianship, will take the steps necessary to ensure their safety in all areas, not least of all as they travel from one destination to another. Children are among our most vulnerable road users. It's why the Ministry of Transport and Works, and particularly the Road Safety Unit, has spent time coming up with measures to ensure that the traffic environment for them is as safe as possible. Laws like the Road Traffic Act, the Child Care and Protection Act, and the Protective Devices legislation speak to the issue in some way.
I want drivers to stop when I am at the pedestrian crossing.
Drivers who ignore the prompting of a traffic warden to stop before reaching the place where children are crossing or seeking to cross, or who put the vehicle in motion before the children have completely crossed the road, commit an offense under the Road Traffic Act.
Drivers need to slow down in front of schools.
Legislation is being drafted to designate certain areas as school zones, where motorists will be required to cut their speed during specified time frames. That's just one of several measures being tackled to ensure that children are protected as part of the Road Safety Unit's aggressive move to enforce the National Road Safety Policy. The unit also plans to deliver the road safety message to at least 130 primary schools every year, with intentions to roll out the initiative in secondary and tertiary institutions. And there are plans to ensure that road safety is entrenched in the curriculum of secondary schools. The Ministry of Transport and Works is also doing its part to ensure that pedestrian crossings are maintained, sidewalks are provided, and appropriate signs are installed, including at designated school zones.
Whether you drive on 2 wheels or 4, there's one thing I can guarantee you. That is that you know someone that's gonna need blood one day, or you might just be that someone. So here's the deal. The blood we have can only supply about 50% of the need. That's why, with the craziness that's happening on the roads, we need you to join the One Love, One Blood campaign. The life you save just might be your own.
Oh God, I really wish I could retire right now. It's high time I start my own business.
Well, honey, don't you think you should apply to the early retirement program? Look how long we are talking about that.
You know, you're right.
The SERP is for eligible government employees between 50 and 59 years old. Speak with your HR department or see the press for details. Deadline is February 16. Apply now.
A child's diet is just as important as protecting them physically. They must be fed with the right foods in order for their bodies to ward off non-communicable diseases. Next, a tried and proven substance to keep their bodies healthy.
Milk actually helps you lose weight.
Protein in milk is what we consider high biological value, for the mere fact that it has 9 essential amino acids.
Drink up, nourish your body with the goodness of cow's milk. Cow's milk, to some, real milk.
It's very refreshing, right? Whereas if your chest burning you can drink it and you get a lot of relief.
Cow's milk give you more nutrients than bag juice and all the other sweet stuff that you drink.
Like you come out early in the morning and you not drink no tea, you can drink a cow's milk and it make your energy up and running.
The government is on a drive to increase consumption of local cow's milk. It's part of the plan for job creation and economic growth, as well as to encourage healthy consumption habits.
Why is milk such an important part of the diet for children especially? because milk has 9 of the essential amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, which are required for growth and development and protection. What else does the milk have? It has minerals, it has calcium, and we know the importance of calcium. And milk is one of the major sources of calcium for humans. And so calcium, we know, we need it for development of bones, for development of teeth. But also, calcium can also help to lower blood pressure. Calcium also helps in blood clotting. What else does milk have? It has choline. Choline is this mineral that helps the body to sleep. It helps in brain function, it helps in brain development, it helps in the formation of the tissues, the nerves in the body. So it helps with nerve impulses. So it helps their nervous system to develop. Milk also has potassium. All right, potassium helps calcium to function, and it also helps in the formation of the bones, helps the body to use that, and it maintains bone mass.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
No, when I drink cow's milk, I have a lot of swelling because I have an allergy problem. It gives me a lot of bumps, swelling up on these things.
It is a known fact that people of African descent do not have the lactase, which is the enzyme that digests the lactose, which is in milk. And so most black persons tend to be lactose intolerant.
My views on that is that the body takes time to adapt. So the first you drink the milk, you have to give the body time to produce the right enzyme, the right proportion, the different bacteria to counteract the milk. Most people drink the milk and expect if you stay down, no, you have to take it over time. And do it gradually and little. The basic thing you have to do. Just scald it, and once you do that, it reduces the bacterial level in it, so it will have that effect on your body.
With the cereal, because you know it's not too sweet and it's balanced, so the cereal is already sweet, so the cow's milk will go well with the cereal. Your oats, you know, like you blend your banana, you can use the cow's milk to sweeten it.
Normally, when you make a chocolate tea, you have a milk, you don't throw cow's milk in and you're gone up and run instead way.
I have milk with rum. I have milk with porridge, tea, anything.
I like to drink my cow's milk with the oatmeal biscuits or cornflakes.
Milk can have added nutrients. So we fortify the milk with vitamin D, and we know vitamin D again helps with absorption of the calcium. It also helps in bone formation and teeth. What else can be added to milk? Magnesium, the B vitamins, all of these give added nourishment to the milk. So children don't like, I think they don't like to see the white as well. So you can color it, you can flavor it. You can flavor it with chocolate, you can flavor it with strawberry. And people tend to use syrups, but you can also use fruits to flavor the milk. So people have now been making smoothies. But how much milk should we be drinking? A serving of milk in Jamaica and the Caribbean is ½ cup or 4 ounces. And what does that give us? It gives us about 76 kilocalories, that ½ cup.
Housewives, mothers, fathers, consumers, remember why milk is good for you. The reality is there's nothing like cow's milk. Drink Jamaican real milk.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Our land has been suffering from immorality.
This is Ibo Cooper of Third World, lecturer at Edna College, chairman of Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, saying to Jamaica, whether young or old, look around you and see what you have right throughout the year. I have now filled out 9 passports with traveling, and I've been to every corner of the earth, and there are people who would want what we have. They beg me to come to Jamaica because right now in the Middle East is war. Right now in the north is ice. We have a beautiful place. Please preserve it. Love one another. Like what my granny did tell me, to love people. The lady who don't have nothing to eat, a shut in, make sure she's alright. the people them who can walk like me and you, make sure them alright. I see a youth the other day try to rob a blind man. My youth, what you do? We couldn't do them thing there. Help the blind. Help the pregnant lady. Love, you can't beat it.
Let's join hands and hearts together and make Jamaica a land of love.
Rearing a child is never an easy job, and for those precious little ones living with disabilities, there are a few other unique challenges to navigate. But there is an organization willing to help. The Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities has vast experience in this regard. Watch this.
Somebody's hand make this world better.
Safeguarding children with disabilities is very important. More so, although all children are vulnerable, but children with disabilities tend to be a little bit more vulnerable because there are sometimes some of them cannot take care of themselves. And so when we think of safeguarding children with disabilities, we have to think of the different disability groups because there are some who can manage more than others. For persons who are deaf, children who are deaf, you have to ensure that they get the information about being safe, whether safe on the roads or safe from strangers or safe from persons who would harm them. So giving them the information in a language that they can understand. And for us in Jamaica, it's through the Jamaican Sign Language. For persons with intellectual disabilities, it is taking care to explain over and over again in simple language the different types of dangers that they might face. It is teaching them how to be safe on the roads, how to be safe at home, at school, wherever they are. And for these children, they will need sometimes practical examples of what to do. And so for them it is not just telling, but it is also showing. It is very, very important for the child who is blind that they can listen and they can understand readily, but they cannot see. And so they need to be introduced, to the physical feel of things, to know, so that they can be aware of their surroundings. They need to be taught to be more aware of their surroundings, because sometimes it is not about what you can see or feel, but it is just, having that sixth sense. Child Development Agency covers all children. However, there is a Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, the Combined Disabilities Association, the Jamaica Association for the Deaf, the Jamaican Association on Intellectual Disabilities, the Jamaica Autism Support Association that is there, to help parents and caregivers. It is for the general public to look out for persons with disabilities. Look out for them in the bus stations, at the bus center, for areas, parishes that have bus centers. Do not abuse them. Do not shove them aside. Do not, when you're entering the bus and everybody is pushing and shoving, look out for them to ensure that they get on the bus so that they too can get home, if that is their means of transportation. Persons really have to look out. Don't take away their lunch money. Don't spit on them. Don't disregard them. They're another human being seeking an education, seeking to go about their business like any other legitimate child. And so they should be allowed to grow up. They should be allowed to become all that they can be, so that later on we do not have to be seeing them begging on the streets, or they're cast aside and society has to take care of them, because it will cost us more.
I say be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister. She could be the next Prime Minister.
Children in Jamaica constitute anyone who is under the age of 18 years. And so once you have a child who is under your care and supervision, we encourage you at the Office of the Children's Advocate to always know where your children are. It doesn't mean that you have to be there with them, but you certainly know who they're with, where they're going, and the purpose for being there. This is a key component in helping to establish some rules in terms of some ground rules and helping to guide your children towards responsible and sensible choices, and also assisting you if something were to go wrong to know what is the first point of contact to assist your child. While you're not to look at everybody as a potential suspect, that you need to be very wary of adults, whether they're in positions of authority or not, that seek to want to have a very close relationship with your child. Somebody who wants to invite your child on an outing and it's just that adult and your child alone. Somebody who wants to take your child to a very special event to reward the child, perhaps for some performance that the child would have done in an extracurricular activity or for academic excellence. We encourage you to look at these situations very carefully and to determine whether or not it's an appropriate meeting or outing that this person is propositioning for your child. If you're enrolling your child in a daycare, ensure that you know something about the track record of that daycare. Ensure that the daycare has what we call an open door policy, which allows you to go in, see what's happening, observe how the workers there interact with the children, and know some of the ground rules that guide these interactions. If they're going on outings, whether it be school trips or otherwise, ensure that at some point, even if you can't go to all, you do attend some of them, so you get yourself integrated into the system and the culture of the school. For these tips, and of course any other information that deals with children, that is anyone under 18 years, please feel free to contact the Office of the Children's Advocate. We're at 72 Harbour Street, downtown Kingston, and our numbers are 948-1134, or website www.oca.gov.jm.
Watch what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you're saying to my sister, cause she could be the next Prime Minister.
This is where we close the pages for today. You may watch our features anytime at your own leisure. Just click on our website or our YouTube channel. Our social media sites also have loads of information which you may find useful. Until then, come back tomorrow on this same station when we explore other policies and programs being implemented by the government. I'm Theodore Henry. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.